Hi, I'm Kesten Rono, and today is day 153 of A Course in Miracles, where we are learning that the power of decision is our own, that heaven is a decision we must make. Picking up with the review of Principle 13. Miracles are both beginnings and endings, and so they alter the temporal order. They are always affirmations of rebirth, which seem to go back but really go forward. They undo the past in the present and thus release the future. Miracles are both beginnings and endings. The beginning of a new way of seeing, the ending of the way of seeing in lack. And so they alter the temporal order. You were born anew. And they give us access to timelessness. They are always affirmations of rebirth, because miracles mean life and God is the giver of life, which seem to go back but really go forward. They undo the past in the present and thus release the future. That we are feeling however it is that we have felt in our present sense, our here and nowness, and we're letting it go, opening ourselves up to the unknown, the change that is physical that we now accept, and the changeless that we never believed we saw before. Lesson 153. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. My safety lies in my defenselessness. Please repeat after me one time. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. How can this be? Well, of course, if we feel that we need to attack this statement or defend ourselves from it, then we're not allowing ourselves to wonder, how is it that this is true? So we read, you who feel threatened by this changing world, its twists of fortune and its bitter jests, its brief relationships and all the gifts it merely lends to take away again, attend this lesson well. That is, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. The world provides no safety. It is rooted in attack, and all its gifts, a seeming safety, are illusory deceptions. It attacks and then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens thus. How could we have peace amid attack? The world gives rise but to defensiveness, for threat brings anger. Anger makes attack seem reasonable, honestly provoked, and righteous in the name of self-defense. Yet it is defensiveness, a double threat. Yet is defensiveness a double threat. For it attests to weakness and sets up a system of defense that cannot work. Now are the weak still further undermined, for there is treachery without and still a greater treachery within. The mind is now confused and knows not where to turn to find escape from its imaginings. It is as if a circle held it fast, wherein another circle bound it, and another one in that, until escape no longer can be hoped for nor obtained. Attack, defense, defense, attack, become the circles of the hours and the days that bind the mind in heavy bands of steel with iron overlaid, returning but to start again. There seems to be no break nor ending in the ever-tightening grip of the imprisonment upon the mind that is getting caught in this attack-defense cycle. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness in a form so grim that hope of sanity seems but to be an idle dream, beyond the possible. The sense of threat the world encourages is so much deeper, and so far beyond the frenzy and intensity of which you can conceive, that you have no idea of all the devastation it has wrought. So defenses are the costliest of all prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness. You are its slave. The world's slave, I would imagine. Maybe the ego's. You are its slave. You do not know what you do in fear of it. You do not understand how much you have been made to sacrifice, who feel its iron grip upon your heart. You do not realize what you have done to sabotage the holy peace of God, by your defensiveness. For you behold the Son of God as but a victim to attack by fantasies, by dreams, and by illusions he has made, yet helpless in their presence, needful only of defense by still more fantasies and dreams by which illusions of his safety comfort him. That we're living in an illusion, and we do not see ourselves as holy and infinite, so we make up stories about how we can justify this, and then we make up new stories to allow us to feel comfortable now that we are no longer seeing ourselves as holy and infinite. Defenselessness is strength. It testifies to recognition of the Christ in you. Perhaps you will recall the text maintains that choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, seen apart from him. Defenselessness can never be attacked because it recognizes strength so great attack is folly, or a silly game a tired child might play when he becomes too sleepy to remember what he wants. Yes, to know that you need not defend yourself would be the strongest awareness of your inability to be attacked. Defenselessness can never be attacked because it recognizes strength so great attack is folly. The text maintains the choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, seen apart from him. That we imagining that we are apart from God is what creates our weakness. Defensiveness is weakness. It proclaims that you have denied the Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. What can save you now from your delusion of an angry God, whose fearful image you believe you see at work in all the evils of the world? What but illusions could defend you now? When is it but illusions that you fight? What but illusions could defend you now when it is but illusions that you fight? Yes, to imagine that God is angry. Well, if it's an angry God, there's just no appeasing him. Good luck. If it's a loving God, then we are allowed to see ourselves in our defenselessness. But if we have to imagine that we need to be defending ourselves, that we can even outsmart the idea of God itself, this is an insane principle. If we were meant to be destroyed, then God would create us just to destroy us. What loving father would do that to their son? So everything rests upon you believing that God is angry out to get you, even though he created what you are. Insanity. And you could never protect yourself from the Almighty who's out to get you. Insanity again. What but illusions could defend you now, when it is but illusions that you fight? We will not play such childish games today, for our true purpose is to save the world, and we would not exchange for foolishness the endless joy our function offers us. We would not let our happiness slip by because a fragment of a senseless dream happened to cross our minds, and we mistook the figures in it for the Son of God, its tiny instant for eternity. We look past dreams today and recognize that we need no defense because we are created unassailable, without all thought or wish or dream in which attack has any meaning. Now we cannot fear, for we have left all fearful thoughts behind, and in defenselessness we stand secure, serenely certain of our safety now, sure of salvation, sure we will fulfill our chosen purpose as our ministry extends its holy blessings through the world. Okay. Everything relies on you seeing yourself as non-finite, as infinite, as constant, therefore aligned with the unconditional. If you cannot see yourself in your spiritual mind, then you cannot see this world. You cannot see two worlds. You will see yourself as physical, fallible, killable. Everything relies on you seeing yourself in infinite love. Be still a moment, and in silence, think how holy is your purpose, how secure you rest, untouchable within its light. God's ministers have chosen that the truth be with them. Who is holier than they? Who could be surer that his happiness is fully guaranteed? And who could be more mightily protected? What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election, and their own as well? I feel that it's valuable to underscore here that you, and anyone that you look at, any being is the chosen one of God, of course, that they may know love and have forgiveness as an opportunity alongside them, just the same as you, that we are all one mind in God. This is the idea of creation. It just expands infinitely. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't set it up. Or not that I'm aware. Yet. But may you also feel that this does mean you. That you have this opportunity to see your holiness. This is talking about you. Exactly you. Be still a moment. It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers choose as they have done. God has elected all, but few have come to realize his will is but their own. Yes, what defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election and their own as well? You must decide. The power to decide is yours. Heaven is the decision you must make. God has elected all, but few have come to realize his will is but their own. And while you fail to teach what you have learned, salvation waits and darkness holds the world in grim imprisonment. Nor will you learn that light has come to you and your escape has been accomplished. For you will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. As they take it from your hands, so will you recognize it as your own. That we're breathing into this light of forgiveness, and offering it first. We're foregoing how we have seen before, forgiving others by recognizing the light within them. Such we see the light within ourselves. Salvation can be thought of as a game that happy children play. It was designed by one who loves his children, and who would replace their fearful toys with joyous games, which teach them that the game of fear is gone. His game instructs in happiness because there is no loser. Finite versus infinite games. His game instructs in happiness because there is no loser. Everyone who plays must win, and in his winning is the gain to everyone insured. The game of fear is gladly laid aside when children come to see the benefits salvation brings. You who have played that you are lost to hope, abandoned by your father, left alone in terror in a fearful world, made mad by sin and guilt, be happy now. Okay. I'll be quiet a moment and heed today's lesson and be happy now. The game is over. Now a quiet time has come, in which we put away the toys of guilt and lock our quaint and childish thoughts of sin forever from the pure and holy minds of heaven's children and the Son of God. We pause for but a moment more to play our final happy game upon this earth, and then we go take our rightful place where truth abides and games are meaningless. So is the story ended. Okay, I want to pause to say that we are here to play and celebrate and learn something about something. What if that idea is to learn about the unconditional amongst the changing? To learn what love is and set aside our fear and upsets. And to notice what it is, even in a glimpse, but to know this, to notice and know this, feels deeply meaningful, not meaningless. What a gift to play in life with this idea in our minds. Let this day bring the last chapter closer to the world, that everyone may learn the tale he reads of terrifying destiny, defeat of all his hopes, his pitiful defense against a vengeance he cannot escape, is but his own deluded fantasy. God's ministers have come to waken him from the dark dreams this story has evoked in his confused, bewildered memory of this distorted tale. God's Son can smile at last on learning that this is not true. Yes, that old story that you have been telling yourself that boils down to lack and fear is not true. It's not even here anymore. It's not true. Today we practice in a form we will maintain for quite a while. We will begin each day by giving our attention to the daily thought as long as possible. 5 minutes now becomes the least we give to preparation for a day in which salvation is the only goal we have. 10 would be better, 15 better still. And as distraction ceases to arise to turn us from our purpose, we will find that half an hour is too short a time to spend with God. Nor will we willingly give less at night in gratitude and joy. So really extending our practices here, opening up the door to meditation. It is time, absolutely, for me to sit calmly upright and enjoy these ideas. Each hour adds to our increasing peace as we remember to be faithful to the will we share with God. At times, perhaps a minute, even less, will be the most that we can offer as the hour strikes. Sometimes we will forget. At other times, the busyness of the world will close on us, and we will be unable to withdraw a little while and turn our thoughts to God. Yet, when we can, we will observe our trust as ministers of God in hourly remembrance of our mission and His love. And we will quietly sit by and wait on Him and listen to His voice and learn what He would have us do the hour that is yet to come, while thanking Him for all the gifts He gave us in the one gone by. So each hour is gratitude for the gifts we received and an openness to hear in our nowness what we would do now. In time, with practice, you will never cease to think of Him and hear His loving voice guiding your footsteps into quiet ways, where you will walk in true defenselessness, for you will know that heaven goes with you, nor would you keep your mind away from Him a moment, even though your time is spent in offering salvation to the world. Think He will not make this possible. Think you He will not make this possible for you who choose to carry out His plan for salvation of the world and yours? Today, our theme is defenselessness. We clothe ourselves in it, and we prepare to meet the day. We rise up strong in Christ and let our weakness disappear as we remember that His strength abides in us. We will remind ourselves that He remains beside us through the day and never leaves our weakness unsupported by His strength. We call upon His strength each time we feel the threat of our defenses undermine our certainty of purpose. We will pause a moment as He tells us, I am here. Thank you for being here. I am here. I see you in nowness. The whisper. That doesn't need a voice and images, that do not, a sight that needs no images, no pictures. It is clear that I'm not listening and then responding, but noticing myself here and now, in this way with God, in this way with love, and moving forward with feeling rather than thinking my way through infinite problems, as has been customary for me. Your practicing will now begin to take the earnestness of love to help you keep your mind from wandering from its intent. Be not afraid or timid. There can be no doubt that you will reach your final goal. The ministers of God can never fail, because the love and strength and peace that shine from them to all their brothers come from Him. These are His gifts to you. Defenselessness is all you need to give Him in return. You lay aside but what was never real, to look on Christ and see his sinlessness. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Defenselessness is our theme. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. This is the idea to meditate upon. In the morning and at night, to hear yourself say every hour, if you remember. In my defenselessness, my safety lies, because true defenselessness can never be attacked. Defenselessness is strength. Defensiveness is weakness. May you know the strength of you eternally. And I'll see you here tomorrow.